Hey, it's Kim. I'm here to do a restorative flow with you. So whenever you're ready, you can get started out in child's pose. So forehead resting on your mat, knees together or spread wide, big toes touching, and just breathing here. So take a nice long inhale through your nose. Nice long exhale through the nose. Just beginning to focus on the breath. Maybe spreading your fingers wide, pressing into your palms. And just taking a moment to set an intention for your practice. So big breath in, filling up, expanding through the ribs and back ribs. And then long exhale out, just let it all go. Whenever you're ready, we'll go ahead and slowly make our way up to our hands and knees. So shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. We'll take a few rounds of our cat-cow. So inhale, crown to the front, tail to the back. Exhale to your cat, round your back, push out all of the air. Inhale to your cow. Exhale to your cat. Just taking a few rounds of each, moving with your breath. And beginning to warm up your spine. We'll go ahead and make our way back to our tabletop position and take a few hip rolls to the right. So getting out any snaps, crackles, and pops. Go ahead and come back to center and we'll just switch directions. We'll go ahead and make our way back to center. We're going to come into our extended puppy pose. So walking your palms toward the top of your mat. Spread your fingers wide. Melt your chest toward your mat. Reach your tail to the sky. So just breathing here. Inhaling, feeling that expansion across your chest with each breath. And then slowly making your way back to your tabletop position. Go ahead and extend that left leg out. I'm going to go ahead and plant my foot. And then come up, reaching that right arm to the sky, relaxing that left arm down my leg. So getting a nice stretch in that side body, maybe peeling that shoulder open. Go ahead and come back to center. Release that left knee, extend the right leg, plant that foot, reach that left arm up and over, peel that shoulder back. So just breathing here, getting a nice stretch in the side body. I'm going to go ahead and come back to center. Come back to my tabletop position. And I'm going to extend that left leg nice and long. So I'm going to press into the ball of the foot, and I can feel a pretty intense stretch in the back of my left calf. So just pressing into my palms, engaging my core, pressing into the ball of that left foot. Go ahead and drop that left knee, and I'm going to switch. So extend that right leg. Press into the ball of that foot. Get a nice stretch. And I'm really pressing into my palms. Pressing into that foot. Go ahead and drop that right knee. I'm going to engage my core, extend that left leg up to about hip height, maybe extending that right arm. So really reaching and pulling in those opposite directions. Flexing that foot. I'm going to bring elbow to knee, open up. Elbow to knee, open up. And then I can stay here or maybe reaching back for that foot, pressing the foot into the palm, if that feels okay to you. Just opening up those shoulders, opening up that hip. I'm going to gently release, extend nice and long. Release back to my mat. So I'm going to extend that right leg to about hip height. Flex that foot. Extend the left arm. Pull in opposite directions. Engage that core. Elbow to knee. Hug them in. Open up. Elbow to knee. Open up. And then stay here or reaching back, maybe catching that foot and maybe pressing into the palm. Trying to open up that hip, open up that shoulder. Just breathing here. I'm going to gently extend the arm and leg, release back to that tabletop position, and I'm going to press back to that child's pose for just a moment. So spreading the fingers wide, pressing into the palms. I'm going to walk my hands over to the right. So really crawl those fingertips up. Breathing here, crawl those fingertips out as far as you can. Feel a nice stretch in the arms, keeping the head and neck nice and neutral. I'm going to walk it over to the other side. So crawl those fingertips out. Press into the palms. Sink into your seat. Nice stretch, especially in that right side body, under that arm. I'm going to go ahead and come back to center. And then I'm going to press back to my first downward facing dog. So I want my feet about hip width apart, heels pressing towards your mat. Go ahead and take a moment to just pedal out your feet, maybe swaying into the hips, maybe shaking your head yes or no. Go ahead and inhale, rise up to the balls of the feet. Exhale, heels towards your mat. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, heels down. One more time. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, heels down. Go ahead and reach that right leg to the sky. Bend your knee if you'll open your hip. Maybe rolling out that ankle. Trying to press equally into both palms. Reach that right leg to the sky. I'm going to step through to a lunge. Drop that left knee. And I'm going to reach my right arm to the sky. So maybe imagining my back pressing into an imaginary wall. Reaching through those fingertips, pressing through that left hand. If it feels okay, you can bring that right hand to that left hip pocket. Just helping to peel open that shoulder. I'm going to release my right hand to the inside of my foot and walk out to a lizard lunge. So I'm going to heel toe my right foot toward the outer edge of my mat. So toes out, heels in. I can stay right here, or if it feels okay, I can lower down to the elbows. Maybe rocking onto the outer edge of that foot. And just breathing here. So beginning to let any tension pour out of that hip. Beginning to open up. Just leaving anything that no longer serves you on your mat. I'm going to slowly make my way back up to my hands. I'm going to bring that ankle and foot back under my knee, and I'm going to shift back to my runner's lunge. So this can look a little bit different for everybody, so just find that sweet spot for you where you're getting a nice stretch in the back of that left leg. So I'm going to kind of sink back a little bit. You can maybe point or flex the foot. If you ever want to, add that movement, pointing and flexing, you can. Or you just want to find a deep stretch in the back of that right leg. And I'm going to go ahead and make my way back into my hero's pose. So I'm going to take a seat. Go ahead and inhale your arms to the sky. Exhale, hands by your sides. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. So left hand to the outside of that right leg. Right hand can come to the lower back. Or you can plant those fingertips on the ground or a block if that feels okay to you. So engaging the core, maybe gazing toward that right shoulder. I'm going to come back to center. Inhale my arms to the sky. I'm going to exhale the goalpost arms. So open up, expand across your chest. So inhale, arms up, twist to the left. So right hand to the outside of that left leg, left hand to the lower back, or fingertips on the floor or mat. Maybe gazing toward that left shoulder, keeping that core nice and engaged. I'm trying to twist across the upper chest and back. So just breathing here. I'm going to go ahead and come back to center and make my way back to my downward facing dog. So those feet about hip width apart, heels pressing towards your mat. Melt your chest towards your mat, reach your tail to the sky. Left leg up, bend the knee, peel open the hip, maybe rolling out that ankle. Taking any movements that feel good to you. I'm going to reach the left leg to the sky. Step through to a lunge and drop that right knee. Press into my right hand, reach that left arm to the sky. So press that back into an imaginary wall, reach those left fingertips up. Just breathing here. I'm going to release that left hand to the inside of my foot, heel, toe, toes out, heel in, to come down to my lizard lunge. So maybe staying here, maybe lowering down to the elbows, maybe relaxing the head and neck, or rocking onto the outer edge of that foot and adding movement if it feels good to you. So just breathing here. So just opening up your hip, just letting go. Focusing on your breath, just being here in the present moment. I'm going to slowly make my way up to my hands, onto the bottom of that foot, shift it so the knee and ankle are stacked, and then I'm going to come back to that runner's lunge. So maybe flexing the foot, maybe pointing the toe, just finding that sweet spot for you, getting a nice stretch in the back of that left leg. So just breathing here. I'm going to go ahead and make my way back to my hero's pose. And just pausing here for a moment. Maybe finding a neutral gaze. Maybe closing the eyes. Just getting nice and grounded. Just So big breath in, filling up. And then a long exhale out, just letting go. I'm going to come into a seated position, so just an easy seated posture. If it feels okay, you can bring right foot to that left hip crease, so getting nice and grounded through the sits bones. And I'm just going to plant my hands to start, and then release that right hand, reach that left arm up and over. Okay, really extending through those fingertips. You can stay right here, you can bend into that elbow, or you can release down to the elbow, but trying to really extend through those left fingertips, trying to stay grounded, pressing into the sits bones. Just peeling open that shoulder. So breathing here, maybe feeling the stretch a little bit more with each inhale. I'm going to go ahead and switch sides, so come back to center. Plant that left hand, reach that right arm up and over. So peel that shoulder back. Really extend through those fingertips. Maybe bending into the elbow. Maybe lowering to the elbow. But trying to stay nice and grounded. And maybe just noticing a difference on one side compared to the other. So trying not to judge it, just acknowledging it. Maybe noticing where we're holding some tension, some tightness. Maybe trying to let go. Sending the breath through the body. Being here. Focusing on the breath. We'll go ahead and make our way back up to center. And I'm going to make my way back to my downward facing dog. So fingers spread wide, pressing into the palms. Breathing here. I'm going to reach that right leg to the sky. Step through and rise up to my warrior one. So back foot pointing toward about 10 o'clock. That right knee over the right ankle. You can have hands at heart center or reach them up overhead. Maybe making a connection overhead, trying to pull the biceps toward the ears. I'm going to open up to goalpost arms, expand across the chest, and then release hands to my lower back. So interlace fingers, shine your heart, and then bring that right shoulder to that right thigh. So let those arms fall forward. Relax the head and neck. Maybe just gazing at the arch of that back foot. I'm going to release my hands, so frame that front foot, press into the ball of the left, and then reach that right arm to the sky. Maybe bringing that right hand to that left hip pocket, if that feels good to you. Go ahead and release that right hand, step left foot up to meet right. I'm going to heel toe my feet toward the outer edges of the mat. Take peace fingers around big toes. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, forward fold. So really let go of that head and neck. Relax your shoulders. Maybe letting those arms fall out to the sides. If you need a more restorative pose, you can bend into the knees, relax the belly onto the thighs. Go ahead and come back to center. We'll release our hands, heel toe our feet back to about hip width apart. So inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We'll inhale our arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. We're going to step back to our high push-up. Exhale to low. Inhale to up. And exhale exhale to down. Reach that left leg to the sky. Step through, rise up to your warrior one. So bringing hands to heart center or reaching those arms up overhead. Back foot pointing toward about 2 o'clock. Left knee over that left ankle. Maybe making that connection overhead, bringing the biceps toward the ears. So just breathing here. Go ahead and open up to goalpost arms, and then release the hands to the lower back, interlace fingers, maybe the opposite way, shine your heart, and then coming in to your humble warrior. So letting those arms fall forward, letting any stress or tension just roll off your neck and back. Go ahead and release your hands. Plant your hands, frame that front foot. We'll press into our right hand, reach that left arm to the sky. It's really reaching through those fingertips, pressing into the ball of that back foot. Maybe bringing left hand to that right hip pocket and just peeling open the shoulder. Go ahead and release that left hand. We'll step up. Go ahead and inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, your arms to the sky. So exhale, forward fold. And then heel toe your feet toward the outer edges of the mat. We're going to come into our ragdoll, so grab opposite elbows. Let that head and neck hang nice and heavy. Maybe swaying it out from side to side. Maybe shaking your head, yes or no. Go ahead and release your hands, and we're going to come into our gorilla pose, so palms up, toes meet wrists. So inhale, halfway lift, pull that back flat, and then exhale, let it go, forward fold. Maybe swaying from side to side. Trying to relax just a little bit more. Just trying to let any of that tension pour off of your shoulders. Go ahead and release your hands. We'll turn our heels and toes out and come in to our Buddha squat. So hands to heart center, maybe pressing those elbows into the thighs. So just breathing here. Go ahead and plant that right hand to the inside of our right foot. We'll reach that left arm to the sky. So just trying to peel open that shoulder. If it feels good, you can bring that left hand to that right hip pocket. Maybe walking your gaze toward the shoulder, maybe toward the ceiling. We're going to come back to center, plant that left hand, reach that right arm up. So opening up the chest and the shoulder. Breathing here. Maybe bringing that right hand to that left hip pocket. So just inhaling and exhaling through the nose. We're going to go ahead and come back to center. Release the hands, forward fold. So track those toes forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. So inhale your arms to the sky. Go ahead and release hands to heart center. So just breathing here. We'll inhale our arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale to downward facing dog. Go ahead and drop your knees to the mat. Cross the ankles, and we'll make our way back to a seated position, so legs nice and long in front of us. So inhale your arms to the sky. Go ahead and exhale, forward fold. So flexing the feet, trying to make it a nice active pose. Breathing here, and maybe just trying to get a little bit farther forward with each exhale. Maybe just crawling those fingertips out. Trying to keep a nice flat back. We'll come back up to our seated position. So bring right foot to the outside of left. Sit up nice and tall. We'll twist to the right. So flex that left foot. Reach the crown to the sky. Maybe gazing toward that right shoulder. Come back to center. Right leg nice and long. Left foot to the outside of the right. Sit up nice and tall, and we'll twist to the left. So just breathing here. Reaching through the crown, flexing through the foot. Twisting out any of those toxins in the body. We're going to go ahead and come back to center, and we're going to make our way onto our back. So knees bent, feet about hip width apart. Just relax your arms by your sides. Right ankle to the top of left leg, and then hug in that left leg. So maybe pointing or flexing the feet. You can roll out the ankles if that feels good to you. So just breathing here. Go ahead and switch sides, so left ankle to the top of that right leg, hug it in. Again, just pointing or flexing the feet, rolling out the ankles or taking any movements that feel good to you. We'll come in to our happy baby pose. So either taking peace fingers around big toes or grabbing the opposite edges of the feet, maybe just rocking from side to side. Maybe massaging out that lower back. We'll come back to center. Hug that right knee in. Extend the left leg nice and long. Pull your right knee over to the left side. So trying to keep a connection with your shoulders to the mat. Head and neck can be neutral. If it feels okay on the neck, you can look toward the right. Just breathing here. Come back to center, right leg nice and long. Hug that left knee in. Pull it over to the right. So again, maybe gazing to the left. Just trying to keep those shoulders connected to the mat. We'll come back to center. We're just going to reach our legs up to the sky. And relax your arms by your sides. Go ahead and wiggle out your fingers, your toes. Maybe roll out your wrists and ankles. And then we're going to come into our final resting pose. So just closing the eyes. Breathing here. Sealing in your practice. Slowly wiggle your fingers, your toes, bringing awareness back to the breath and body. We're going to roll over onto our right side. So just pausing in a fetal position. Our fetal position representing a fresh start, a new cycle. and then slowly making your way back up to an easy seated posture. So the light within me honors the light, love, and peace within you. Together we bow forward and say, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have an awesome rest of your day.